Welcome to the Ultimate Career Planning series. In this series, I'm going to be helping you to create the best career plan for you to advance and keep growing as a leader. Okay, in this is the part one of this career planning series where we have been discussing, where I've been talking about the power or how to turn on your self-starter potential. All right, that's the sub series, and already this is the third video in that series. And the first and the second video, you would have learned about what are the characteristics of a self-starter or a self-leader, and what kind of power does being a self-starter or a self-leader give an individual. All right, so stay tuned for the third part coming up. Thank you so much. Welcome to Enriching Beliefs. This is Karthik. This is the third part of the How to Turn On Your Self-Starter Potential series. All right, in the first one, as I mentioned, you have seen what are the characteristics of a self-starter and how can it empower you as an individual, as an employee to be a self-starter. So here, in this third part, you're going to be learning about finding out your locus of control. So before we get on to how you can find this out or understanding this concept a little deeper, let's understand few things before that. All right, the concept goes like this. Social psychologists say all individuals have a respective locus of control. What is this locus of control? It means that it's a perception that one has on the level of influence one has over an event that happened, which will determine how we want to get involved. So let's say certain events are happening around you, but if you have chosen to be in a certain locus of, if you have a certain locus of control, you either choose to act because of that event that happened, or you will probably not do any action or take action on that event that just happened because you're in a certain locus of control. For some, all right, before we come to that, there are actually two types of locus of control, as you can see on the screen. One is the external locus of control, and the second one is the internal locus of control. So now let's understand these two types so that you can understand which of these types are dominant in you. All right. The first one here is if you believe that there is a external locus of control, what kind of things that you exhibit. The first thing is you tend to believe that others are in charge. You will see problems happening, you'll probably identify the problem, but you will not take any action on it. Second one, therefore you do not take risk or push yourself beyond a certain boundary. Third one, you think that it is someone else's job and not yours because the locus of control is external. Fourth one, results in only extrinsic motivation. So you do not find that intrinsic drive and motivation to do things. Fifth one, believe others and external events control your life and call it chance, fake, or luck and never take action. If you have ever been in this spot where you say that I did not get the chance, therefore I could not get into this kind of a position, or my career could have been better. If you've ever said or thought about this, which is not wrong, just leave a comment saying, yes, I thought about it, and maybe give that incident. Because I've thought about it many times until I realized the power of being a self-starter. All right. I really hope you have given that comment below. Thank you. Sixth one, that you have an aversion to take risk because you think taking risk because you don't feel like it is you need to be involved and take that risk for something to happen. So therefore, you just stay away from that. Now let's look at the second point, which is about if you have an intrinsic or internal locus of control, what happens? The first thing is you examine what is in your control, which is a great thing to do, right? Second one, intrinsically motivated to act. Third one, you will know that your success and failures result from your own behaviors and actions. Fourth one, you're motivated and you take action. That's an amazing thing to do. Fifth one, you expect yourself to succeed. You're not believing, or you're not too much dependent on the fate or the luck or external factors. You can take control. Sixth one, you are an initiator and you believe that you control your destiny. You probably already heard this in one of the previous videos in the series. But if you think this is an empowering statement, do leave me a like and do subscribe to this video so that you don't miss out on the next part of the series that's coming up. Seventh one being, you innovate, embrace change, and seek competitive edge, because that's when the real growth happens. You can't expect to grow doing the same thing over and over. All right, you need to seek challenges, be on that edge sometimes, or most of the times if that's possible. That's the second part. All right, in reality, the psychological studies also found that most people exhibit a mix of internal and external locus of control. So if I've been thinking that, okay, I've just been more intrinsic or extrinsic, well, that's okay, because most people exhibit a mix of both of these things. All right. So the first point under this is, having an internal or external locus is not totally good or bad. All right. That's something you have to understand, because in different circumstances you need to exhibit different locus of control. The third one being, let's take an example. So there might be some person, or it might be you yourself, who might have a very intrinsic or internal locus of control when it comes to career, and then very extrinsic or external locus when it comes to relationship. If you're that kind of a person, do leave me a smiley or do just leave me a comment so that I know which is the more dominant thing in you. All right. As I said, as you can see here, it's not to say that something is good or something is bad, but certain things has its own advantages, which you are going to find out next. All right. The fourth point is, psychological research have found out that people with an intrinsic local are generally more successful in their jobs and career. It does not mean they are always, but they're generally more successful. Let's figure out why. Because they're motivated and achievement or goal oriented. All right. So they secure better paying jobs, less anxiety, and are happier, because they totally get it that it's because of my action or inaction that this kind of a thing has occurred. When you're totally in agreement with that, that's when you can really not feel anxious, or you can just stay calm and happy. Right? So if this gave you a bulb on moment, give me a like and a comment. I really want to interact with you and know what you're thinking when you're listening to all these things. All right, this is the fourth point. The fifth one being, you have to understand that anyone can develop an intrinsic locus of control. Having an extrinsic locus of control is actually very easy. You can always blame on circumstances or other people for the kind of situation you're in. But developing the internal locus of control is doable. All right, let's see what's coming under this. First one is focusing on what can be controlled. Instead of just thinking about all the things that you cannot control, just look at what are the things that you can control. It can be better time management. It can be having better focus. It can be better eating or sleeping habits. All these things are in your control. Let's try out these things and see how that's helping you improve. The second one being embracing opportunities for growth. When you start in developing this internal locus of control, you will see that you will automatically embrace opportunities of growth. Seeking out a positive support network. When you're a person who take responsibility and take charge, you want to be with people who do this more often, right? Therefore, you naturally seek out to be part of a positive network. And one of my mission is to build this kind of a positive network of leaders. And so if you're really motivated or charged up to be in this kind of a network, I'll leave a link to my live webinar where I just don't ask you to join the network, but I give you certain secrets which has helped me in my career to grow. And if that is something that you can relate to, you can definitely make a decision to join. All right. That's the fifth point. And the sixth one being advantages of having an internal locus of control. Let's understand these are the benefits and what are the advantages that you can have when you have this internal locus of control. It can be incredibly empowering to have an internal locus of control and to showcase self leadership or self starter qualities. The thing that, well, I have it, I've been thinking that someone else or something else have been or has been controlling my life, my career. When that thing goes off, and when you know that it's you who can make things happen, I think that will really give you a lot of empowerment. It will really power you up to to go with full force and full on. You'll be full on doing, taking actions. All right, can help you create a more meaningful or fulfilling work life. So it's as I said, as I mentioned in the previous point, it's about acceptance. When you accept things that, okay, it's because I took so much of action that this happened, or I did not take action and this happened, the natural outcome is you will have fulfillment. And I think being happy is something which everyone deserves to be in that state. And I think by adopting these kind of, the intrinsic versus the extrinsic locus of control, these things can be, being happy can be really easy to achieve. So these are the points I really wanted to share. So this is the topic on the finding your locus of control. I'll also share links on, probably you'll see cards appearing for the previous in the next video, or I'll also share links below so that you know what has happened in this series, so that you can connect the dots on how to create the ultimate career plan. Thank you so much for staying till this point, and probably sharing your comments below. I would love to read them and interact with you. Thanks, and I'll catch up in the next one in this series, which can give you certain tools on how you can adopt these tools to become a self starter or a self leader. Thanks again. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.